Buonasera, ciao a tutti. And we are live. So welcome to the new WandaVision. Oh no, wait, that's over.
Oh,
Hmm.
bad.
So how have you been surviving your Friday with no more WandaVision, Gabby?
Uh, it's been tough, but but we have Falcon and Winter Soldier to look forward to. So
Next week
yes,
on
can't wait.
Gabby's channel. So all the links are in the description box below. So subscribe to Gabby. So we have a comeback. I mean, I think this could be interesting to do it like maybe every month or something like that. Whenever we feel like it. To the what have we been reading? Ooh. So the Queen goes first. Gabby, what have you been reading?
Um, hmm.
Too
Well, I
much.
have a lot. So this is on the single issues I have, but I have been reading some graphic novels, and this has been one of them. I mean, I haven't finished it yet because of my work schedule, but I'm really loving it so far.
Yes, that's the Carol I fell in love with. That's the Carol I want to see.
So, binary in the back. But it's just really interesting, and she's just badass. And I love her.
Yes. This will definitely be on our like review thingy, right? Like when we're going to talk about the queens. We will talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
Carol Danvers one day.
Yes, for sure.
Oh yeah. Also, all the covers that came out for this particular run are just amazing. Beautiful.
And I think I have a single issue of Captain Marvel I wanted to show. This one.
Ooh, yeah. I have that one too. I love
Yeah,
that current run as well. Though I'm running a bit behind, but
yeah, it's great. I love it. So, are we going back and forth, or do you want me to
oh, just
do?
whatever. Depends on what you want to do, but you do know that there are one, two, three volumes of that Miss Marvel, right?
Yeah, and I've seen it in my comic store. Like every time I go in there, I see it, and I'm like, I'll
Ooh.
get in it.
Oh, Monty! Good
Oh,
evening. Hope you're feeling better. Are you watching us live from your porch?
with
You
your
had to be there
shotgun.
to understand. Yes. Have you been cow tipping again?
Oh,
Wait, let's see. Have I read anything of Carol? I don't think so. No, I have not. But if I'm going to kick off with something, I want to kick off with. Oh, hold on. Oh no, stop. We know. Oh, okay, well, I'm pretty sure they don't use umbrellas in the Wild West. But when the whole X-Men thing started, we had, I thought it was Dawn of X, that whole new series that came after House of X and Powers of X. They had
hmm,
Marauders. And
yeah.
Marauders issue 1 had a Kitty Pryde cover, and I had it in my stack. But I was the dumbass then to put it at the cash register, and then I was distracted by all the other comics. And I thought my stack was safe, but I was the dumbass that would bring it home and just leave it there because, forever getting through the entire reading pile. And it's only then that I realized that someone actually took the variant cover from my stack. And Well, I noticed it weeks later. That's how much I love the cover. But but when I found out, it was so hard to get. For some reason, I couldn't find it anywhere. And a week and a half ago, I found it at random in a Dutch comic shop website.
That's
Oh
so
my
cool.
gosh. Because I know it, I don't know if it was number 10 or whatever number, that there was another version of this one where she had more like curly hair. And I was like, no, this one is so badass. I want that one.
Yeah.
And now I have it finally. And it cost me €7, which is, I think, either $6 or $8. But it was worth it. I
Yeah.
was so happy. And another cover that I was pretty much going crazy about on Instagram last year when I found out about it. And it's a Vampirella, Vengeance of Vampirella. It's with, it's a Parillo cover. And he painted Christina Scabia, who is one of my favorite female fronted metal band singers. And I was like, oh my God, I hope I can get it. And I
Nice.
have the queen. Christina.
That's awesome.
It is. I'm so happy. Like, I've been a fan of Kuno Coil since like 2004. So it's like buying a really good record because it's been a long time that they actually released a good record. No, I am growing fond of the last one, but I was so happy when I got it. And I actually wanted to do an unboxing video of it when I received it, but I was too excited. I was like, ripping it open. It's like, I'm not gonna wait.
No.
So, è bella, bella Gina. All right, so that's like the kickoff for me. The two covers that I wanted so badly.
This is one I've wanted since like they announced it. I got it.
Yes, I'm supposed to receive that one. I think actually this week, and they have it located to me. But because I also ordered the Berserker, Keanu Reeves comic book, and that one is not in stock yet. It takes forever for them to at least send that one. It's so pretty.
I know. And I wanted the Spider Woman one too, because I love Spider Woman, and I haven't seen it.
There's a Spider-Woman as well?
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one.
and also Emma Frost.
Oh. Now it gets interesting. Even more interesting. Where is it?
So yeah, I was.
Yes, make a tutorial out of it, please.
That would be great.
Yeah. Ooh. Is my connection good so far? Because I'm checking, but I don't think I am. Well, fuck it.
I mean, to me, it is. I think.
Well, if you don't see any difference, then it's, or like any difference, that's not how I should say it. But if you don't notice me lagging, then I'm okay, I guess.
It's good.
Fuck it. So for me, the next book, I got this one of Kicker Comics because he knows I am fucking insane. Pardon my language. About this queen of mine from 2021, Barbara Gordon. Ooh.
Nice.
And it's a one shot, and it's pretty cool. She is actually wearing the outfit. I mean, I'm a noob. I don't know much about this character, but I'm reading her current series or the one that just ended, and now she has this outfit again with the gray.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this story. And oh my God, so 90s, right? So yeah, this comic is pretty cool. I have to put it somewhere on the wall, but I keep saying that I think every issue, like okay, every episode, right? Like I'm gonna put this one on the wall, but still nothing has changed because too lazy for that. And then, of course, speaking of Bad Girl, this is the current run that I'm reading, and
Yeah, I've seen that.
like I'm curious if they are going to release this one in the hardcover, because I know the Gail Simone one of I think 2012 or something like that. That one is being released in hardcover, or do I have to buy all the trades? Because I'd rather have a hardcover so I can really display it nicely. Plus it's cheaper too. Yeah, I really like this issue. I'm so happy I found this one because there's a whole different artist that drew this one. Because of course every 6 issues, like there's different artists. I guess that's normal. Not sure, but this one, it was only for one issue as well. That I don't know. That I really like the art style. It's a bit, big eyes, manga-ish. With Harley. I really like that. And it was just one issue. So the fact that I saw this one on the website for the price is no longer here, but it wasn't that expensive. I think it was maybe the actual standard price, which is probably 4 or 5 euros. Ooh. I think that's it for me now for Bad Girl, except for all the other stuff that I've been reading of her online. Ooh, Gabby Chan.
All right. So I saw this Thursday, and had to get it.
Yeah, the visual.
I was kind of bummed they didn't have Scarlet Witch, but still.
Robert!
Hi, Robert.
Oh, wait, I still have it. So, at, what is it, 1 a.m. tonight, the Comic Book G-Spot will be live. So, Robert, this is just for you. So don't miss Robert's show tonight. It was totally random, not planned, so the better, right?
Yeah. Got to give a shout out to the Godfather.
Of course, El Padrino. Actually, I am not sure if I saw the Scarlet Witch one, but I will look for it again online, and if I see it and I can get 2 copies, I'll send one to you. If I can find it. I'm not sure, because the whole Alex Ross thing, because I've been living in ignorance the last few months. I was like, oh, this whole lockdown will be over soon, but we're still in lockdown months later. I missed out on a lot of comics. Like I even missed out on Demon Days, the Psylocke comic that came out last week or 2 weeks ago. It was it's Peach Momoko. Everybody's like Peach Momoko. It's Momoko. It's Japanese. Momoko. It's not manga. It's manga. Peach Momoko. All together now. Well, I have a lot more than just comics. So I'm just getting through the comics now. I'll probably be boring Gabby sooner or later when I start talking about the manga and the novel. She'll be like, fuck no. But this is a 5-issue run that I received from Stay Puft. It was part of his AOK. Hold on, let me enlarge it a bit. Wait, how do I do that again? Like this? Yeah. All right, so I got this part of an AOK of Stay Puft. He knows that I'm like discovering Vampirella, so he's been giving me a lot of, books to get to know her. And I think it was actually issue 5 that he gave me a what's it called, variant cover of months ago. Didn't know, but now I do know. But this was actually a really nice run. And I have to say that, of course, it looks very violent and badass on the covers, but they were actually like totally girly and like BFFs almost in this book. I was like, okay. Never judge a book by its cover, but regardless, it was still a really nice run. So, Sean, if you catch the rewind, I know you're live right now. Arigato. And soon, or shall I do it right now? I also got the opportunity to read Red Sonja, which is also part of it. Which was also okay. So Queen Sonja and Red Sonja. He also gave me another book that I still have to read, but I really like this. Both, I should say. So this is definitely something I'll be diving into eventually, because I'm chilling with the gangsters right now, so I don't have much time for sports and sorcery. But what I've read, I really liked it. So it's nice to know what all these guys like Varangian Vigilante, Stay Puft, and I think even Robert are talking about a lot about the Queen. It's like, okay, now I know.
So speaking of queens,
Woo! Hold on, let me look at me. Wow.
So these are both variant covers that I had to get of my Queen Sue.
Yes.
So, and I think that this one is a rare variant that I was able to get my hands on. So, like a comic shop, I actually have one that's like right down the street from where I live. So that's lucky. And they posted it on their Facebook, and I'm like, oh my God, is that for sale? And they were like, yeah. So I was like, I want it.
You were going all gangster, like, motherfucker, if you don't put, no, that's not Gabby's way, that's my way. Like today, I don't know how you call it. It's like a European comic. It's not like the American comics, but it's written and drawn here in Europe. We call it strip. I don't know if it's the same in America. I don't know. I don't care. But I've been looking for one book for a very long time. It's Torpedo, 1936. It takes place in 1936 New York. It's gangster, so I'm all here for it. And all these shops that I either bought it from or whatever, it's like a week later they would refund me the money. They were like, we cannot get it. So I was going fucking nuts today in the DMs. I was like at KickerCon, I was like, nobody has this fucking book. I'm so fucking angry right now, right? He sends me one link. He said, how about this shop? I was like, I'm just gonna contact them. And I was dissing, like to him, like, oh, I just told him, like, you motherfucker, if you don't have this book, I'm gonna come for you and your fucking ghetto ass in Rotterdam. And then of course I get the sweetest reply ever saying, nobody has the book, but I have it right here on the shelf. So order away, girl. I was like, oh. I take it back. So I should be getting it finally next week so I can show it off on our next adventure, what we have been reading. I'm excited. I hope it's good. All the effort that I've been putting into it. But, it's a 1930s gangster. So, to me, it's like, Lucky Luciano, the 5 families of New York. Ooh. Sorry. Does she support crime? I don't know. Woohoo! Is it me or you?
I don't know.
Okay. So, I got these. I think on my first crazy ass online therapy 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's Ana Ishikawa. Uh, I have to say, as much as I love her, I mean, the cover looks very promising, but the
You didn't like it?
inside is. I kind of like the story. It kind of reminded me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it was like a Japanese demon coming to America in the shape of a rat. You know, it's like, oh, here we have Shredder. No, not Shredder, Splinter. And there was a fox like here, like
Oh,
I was like,
jeez.
okay, well, here we have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? But Ana Ishikawa, she's supposed to be Japanese, but she keeps changing face every single time. Like, this is her face here,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next page, her face is like this. Like, it's already a different type of face,
Huh.
and like she keeps like changing ethnicity or something like that. It's like they're undecided. Like, how do we draw a Japanese girl? I don't know. And then suddenly she has a big forehead.
Wow.
And well, like the most flattering picture, like if it would be taken today, no one would be like, "Oh, please publish this," right? It's like, "Oh wow,
Oh.
nice proportions."
All right.
And then suddenly the whole face changes again right here, like to a more Caucasian girl. I guess they thought it would be the same. Like, oh, it has Asian inside, but oh, what's in the name, right? But I do like the fact because it's, I think, from 1998 that there's some merch in the back. I'm like, there's a phone number here or an address. Like, if I would actually write here now, can I please have that shirt for $15? You think I would still be able to get it?
Um,
But also, one typical 90s thing. Uh, where is it? Where is the motherfucker? Oh, right here. It's a 9 inch nails hat. Of course, probably my camera won't focus, but
oh yeah, I see it.
I'm like, wow, how 90s can it be? But yeah, I mean, aside from the black, white, and red, we have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle story. Luckily, it was only 2 issues, but could have been just one. Woo! Oh, good evening, Jennifer.
Hello.
Hope you're doing well.
All right. So this one, I got 2 copies of it. Of course, you know I love Spidey so much. So I got the red and the blue.
Nice. What number is that actually?
Amazing Spider-Man number 55.
I think I have up until issue 32. So I've been missing out for a while.
Yeah. This is the red one is the second printing and the blue is the third. So I think the first one is white, I believe.
I think so, yeah. I think I've seen that one.
But I really like the red and the blue. 2 of my favorite colors. So.
Oh, really?
And this.
Hold on. Sorry, I should have done this before. I'm only a noob.
This queen.
Dang.
So I also have the Invisible Woman one, which I think I showed a couple streams ago, but yeah.
Yep. I remember I was at I was at the comic shop, and again, living in ignorance. I thought I can get it next time because I saw the Black Widow one, but the guy was asking a lot of money for it. I was like, I can get it next time because actually I want these books that I have right now. I don't want to spend too much money. And then of course we went into lockdown, and now it's like 500 years later, we're still in lockdown. Missing out. But per me, finalmente, I have been reading a comic, and Jennifer was in the chat. Like, I know that she has been talking about this book a lot, and who not actually. Like, so many people in the community swear that this is like one of the best comics out there. And I got the big ass compendium. Is that how I pronounce it? But it's Saga. And I finally read the thick page, and it's heavy.
That's huge.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
It's, what is it, 54 issues.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I think I have to reread it. Because, sometimes, English, it just goes over my head, especially with certain dialogues. Like, for example, the Killing Joke with the Joker. Whatever the joke is saying, I'm like, okay, I need to reread this. But another time, because it's too much to understand. But would I agree that this is one of the best comics out there? What do you think? Will I agree to that, or will I be like, meh?
I mean, I haven't read any of it, so I can't say anything. But I'll have to look into it.
Well, I have to say, honestly, I mean, I'm just a noob. I don't think it's the greatest thing just yet, or maybe it's because I have to reread it. Because there were some things happening in here that I'm like, what the fuck? Like, one of these moments, it's like, really?
What is that, a panda bear?
No, he's like a mouse, rat creature-ish thing from a planet. And just, I mean, I definitely have to reread it for sure, because a lot of it just, as I said, just went over my head. But maybe I will appreciate it more then. Because I mean, sometimes there are words used that I'm like, I have to get a dictionary. But that's also the thing with comics, right? I'm like, what does that mean? But I won't say it's a bad. I think out of a 10, maybe give it a 7 or 7.5. Which is probably better grade than the soon manga I will be talking about. So I finally read it. Push it to the limit. Workout right here. Oh, Fuchsia! Hello!
Hello.
Saga. Still waiting for that ASMR saga, Jennifer. Julie Waltman. Hello!
Hi.
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 So those are my comics. I hope you have more.
Yeah, I do. I do. So, this is a series I've really been loving lately, Spider-Woman. So,
the new one?
Yeah, with her new costume, the black and red one, which I have to admit, it's not really my favorite of hers. I really love the original suit she had, but like this one.
Oh, yes.
But I also love the 2015 suit that she has, which is one I cosplay as. So, I mean, I love them all, but still. But this run has been really interesting. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to explain it without spoiling it.
Wait, already 9 issues in?
uh, yeah.
Oh
Isn't
yeah,
it like
I got it last year, the Artium cover, and I was like, oh, I will start collecting it.
Mm-hmm. So I actually just got this one Thursday when I went.
I
Yeah,
only know that there was this villain lady in the beginning that, but in issue 1, and then it would continue in issue 2. Was it Octavia or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it good?
I mean, I like it. It's really interesting. There's a few other characters that are introduced like in this issue and like the previous few, and like it goes really deep. Like emotions are flying everywhere, and Carol makes an appearance. So
I'll probably get the big ass trait one day.
mhm.
Spider Woman. Have you been watching the '70s series on Disney Plus?
And I really want to. I haven't yet, and I'm like, I just need to just watch it.
Can get it over with. I love
Uh-huh.
it.
So aside from Marvel, I do love DC ladies too.
Oh, hold on.
So
Oh,
not purely Marvel. I have gotten into DC as well. So fun
Selena,
fact.
Selena.
So yeah, I think I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman and Catwoman are my favorites. And I also love Black Canary as well. So
Black and
I have
Harry.
collected, I have collected a few comics with Green Arrow and Canary. I think I posted one of them. Yeah.
Still one of the characters I have to dive into. I got a few birds of prey because I think 2021 for both of us is more like diving into DC queens. I'm really stuck with Barbara Gordon and Elena
Yeah.
Bertinelli, the Huntress. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, Catwoman, of course, that's been one of my favorite queens for a long time. I have a few of her traits here, one of the 90s and the current run that I just love so much. Especially it was my introduction, the first 6 issues of the current run. I was like, wow, love it. Yeah, if I would show off all the DC covers that I got just the last month, even I'm like, okay,
Be here all night.
too much. Uh, well, let me just start with Uzumaki. Junji Ito. It's a manga. Junji Ito is one of the big horror mangaka or manga artists out there in the world. And basically it's a spiral. It's a spiral taking over everything. I'm just grabbing random pages at once, and it starts off really good. I mean, it's pretty thick, okay? And I'm like halfway through. I think it's like what's it called? Like the fire tower thing. Like usually near the water, there's this big pole with the light on top that just goes like circle around. A lighthouse.
Yeah.
Jeez, it took a bit. I thought up until there it was really interesting, but then it was just like, to me at least, he was like, what ridiculousness can I come up with next? And it just kept going on forever, 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 forever. And I was like, at one point, I'm like, you know what? Is he going to take this into space? Because he's pretty much been through everything, right? But then there is a lost chapter, which is the galaxy. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my gosh.
I was so, this is near the ending, but I was just really, really disappointed by the ending. I felt not like it was a closure. I just felt like I read this bitter pill all the way through, starting out so good and having such a shitty ending.
Oh.
I was like, well, at least from my personal experience, because I do know that a lot of people swear like Uzumaki is like one of the classics when it comes to manga. So I was like, you know what? I have to dive into Gyo right away. And Gyo is another, like you had the spiral thing there with the snails. And this one is pretty much about walking fish. And I have to say, I'm trying to look for a page that shows the weirdest thing. Okay. So this is, I mean, this is the ridiculousness that is Junji Ito. I mean, he has a fucked up imagination and I really like it, But
Yeah.
luckily I read this book after Uzumaki because this book, oh, I should be doing it like this. This book, I recommend it. This is like, if you want a classic from, what's his name? Junji Ito, I'd say go for Gyo. Skip Uzumaki because it's exaggeration like till the end. It's like he was just sitting bored at home, like, where to take it to next. This it's shorter. It has a really good ending, and ending, at least for me, it ends in a way like, okay, the main protagonist, it's a closure now, and that's it. It's the end of the entire catastrophe that's going on, but at least for the two main characters, it's a closure. So, sono molto contento. Sì. How about you? Oh, wait, sorry.
Simi.
Whoa. Hold on. It's been too long that I've heard it, Kirk. You have to do something about that. You already know you got comics on the mind, but I forgot what he said before that. But but nice to see you, Kirk. Woo! Yeah, we're talking a bit about manga. Well, I am. But sooner or later, there will be an episode dedicated to manga. So if you want to join, maybe we can all convince Gabby to pick up a manga. Probably not. She's like, well, you're talking about walking fish? No. So, Gabby.
All right. So, to dive into X-Men,
The best.
found this nice foil cover.
Oh my God. A shiny Babe Nito.
Yeah.
That is my Captain America moment, where she goes like to like the chest of Steve Rogers. So I'll be like that to Magneto, like.
Yeah. Yeah. So is that, and I have showed this before on our WandaVision stream, but I'm showing it again because it's cool.
Yeah.
Can't beat the classics. So I wish this was like the real deal, but it's a reprint, of course. But either way, had to get it.
Yes, X-Men are legit. It's been a while since I've read X-Men. Because I know once I get back into reading X-Men, it's game over again. Because then I'm like, X-Men, X-Men, X-Men.
Yeah. So this thing that I found, I was looking through the dollar bins in the shop that's down the street from me, and I found this.
Oh my gosh. Say what?
So yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
My God.
I saw it. I was like, "What is this?" So yeah, this is in the House of M. One of the best stories ever.
Ooh. Yeah, but that cover.
So it's like a newspaper, basically.
Yes. Snap.
And it's just
Damn. You found this in a dollar bin?
yeah. And I'm like, what is this doing in here? But I don't care. I'm getting it.
If I would find that here, they would be like, they would go straight to eBay and just look for like, what is the most ridiculous price they have for this? Oh, it's 1,000 euros. You're welcome. Okay, here.
Yeah, I was just really blown away. I'm like, what?
I would be too. I'd probably be screaming in the shop. Like,
I was on the inside.
Oh dear. And of course, my final manga. It's One Punch Man Volume 3. I love One Punch Man. It is ridiculous, hilarious. It's just amazing. And I have a little bookmarker right here because just to show you the ridiculousness. Oh, cat hair. Fuck. Where does it start? All right, so here you have this badass who's like, oh, I am going to challenge Saitama. Saitama is the main character who is wait, totally unprepared. Fuck it. Which is this guy right here. That's Saitama, right? He is One Punch Man. He can basically beat anyone, which is one punch. But he's like, I'm going to challenge you, Saitama. And pretty much the next panel, because as you can see here, I should point it out, of course, like he is drawing his katana, right? His sword. And then the next page, it's like Saitama just bites off the sword. That's just how ridiculous it is.
So he bites the sword.
Yeah. Basically, it's Saitama. His one dream is to become the best superhero that's out there. And apparently, he went through the most ridiculous training ever, which is actually not that impressive. But he lost all of his hair because of it. Because in the end, you do see him. Where is it? Oh, this. Of course, never should have put more bookmarkers, I guess. But overall, right here, this guy right here, that's Saitama before. He still had his power. Well, he had his powers then, but it became, the more he started using it and the stronger he became, the more hair he started to lose. But this volume is pretty much about that. There is this program of superheroes, but you have to be registered and you have to take classes. So if you have particular strength and also your knowledge, it puts you in a rank. But Saitama is very strong, but because his knowledge isn't very well, he's being put in a low range. And basically, he has an android friend who wants to be trained by Saitama. He's like, there's a rule, like if you are not out on the streets and you haven't saved anyone in like an entire week, you will be kicked out of the program. You do know that, right? So he just really starts like running around the street looking for like a bad person, and it's hilarious. There's also an anime series of it out there. I think just one season, and it's just it's. I mean, Japanese people, they have a ridiculous amount of humor, and I mean they can write stories that will make you cry for the rest of your life, or they can just make ridiculous, awesome manga stuff like this. And I have the other two as well. And yeah, next month I will just get the rest of it. I just want to do it like every month. I'll just get maybe one volume. Otherwise, it's just you get ridiculous. You buy like 500 volumes and then you just put it there and you never read it again. Story of my life. Oh fuck. Gabby.
So this isn't a new series I just got, but I reread it recently, and it's actually one of my favorite. So this is Marvel Knights 4. I think this came out like I think in around 06 or 07. So it's been out for a while actually. But I really love it because it shows them in like a whole new situation that they haven't faced before, which is already interesting enough. So it comes in 5 volumes. There's like 30 issues. So I got them all, and like long story short, they hired this CFO, chief financial officer, for their company, like to handle their money and stuff, and he ended up stealing from them, making them go bankrupt. So they basically become broke, and they have to move out of the Baxter building.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it happens like around Franklin's birthday, so that sucks. So they have like a party for him, and like all the Avengers are there, and it's just really cute. And then their finance guy says like, "You're basically broke, so you're gonna have to move out, and you have to get jobs, like real jobs." And Johnny's like, "Superheroes, we don't need to get jobs. We don't declare bankruptcy either." But he's like, superheroes or not, you still have to pay debt and taxes and all that.
Right. I mean, how do they even get their income, right? I mean, is it the tax that the people pay that goes to them?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with Reed's inventions and his patents. Like he creates inventions all the time, so he gets money for any patent that he puts on anything. So I think that mostly comes from it.
But the X-Men, for example?
The what?
The X-Men? Or any other superhero? I mean, it's not everybody's like Bruce Wayne and be like, make it rain.
Yeah, but I really loved like the story and the artwork, and trying to find a good. So this is one of my favorite scenes here. Sue being a queen.
Oh.
So she takes a job as a substitute teacher, an English teacher, and it's not even the regular kids; it's the one with disciplinary issues. So she handles it like a pro, as always. I love it.
Even I would be distracted, like, oh, hi.
But yeah, I highly recommend getting this if you haven't read it.
I still have to read the Hickman ones.
Yeah, we need to talk about that one too.
Yeah, but then I think it was you, right, that said Hickman wrote two series? Because I have, it was not like Fantastic Four, but Fantastic something.
Future Foundation. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I have Fantastic Four books though. It's Future Foundation. Yay!
Yeah. I'm sure you could find it online, so we could just scroll through it there.
Of course, pirate.
Because there's a
Yeah,
lot of volumes for that story, so yeah.
like too many. Right. So, other than that, I've just been reading books. So yesterday I started reading Escape from Alcatraz. I have kind of issues aside from comic book issues and mental issues, but I have issues getting into this one because I told you before we started, like it's the sentence structure that keeps like kicking me off, and because in the back it says like it's like mobsters like Al Capone, Machine Gun Kelly, Robert Stroud, aka the Birdman. They were all in Alcatraz and they all tried to escape. And I don't know,
Yeah.
I just have a hard time getting into it. Maybe one day, but for now, put it on the side because today I received another book. You know, if the the introvert crime lord inside of me is like screaming because he was one of those big of the five families years ago. Is Joseph Bonanno. I think actually there's also a movie of him on YouTube, and I'm not saying that people of crime are right, but a lot of the things that they did is also what the government does. So, eh, but either way, it's interesting because you know it's not every day because you've been told every day, right? Like, oh no, need to get a proper education. You need to get all these papers, and only then you can make it in
Mhm.
life. Here you have people that didn't go to school for that long. They were like, were considered bums, and yet here they are. Like, we give you the new president of America.
Mhm.
So I was actually surprised at how small it was. It was only €7. I was like, wait, you're gonna give me a book of on Joe Bonanno, his memoirs, for only €7?
Wow.
So, so Gabby, the next few days that you try to contact me, I'll be I'll be reading this bad bitch right here. But also, I want to get a book because I saw it, but it's kind of hard to get. But I'll find a way of Don Carlo Gambino, and um, I'm considering buying two more books that are about Lucky Luciano. I saw them pretty cheap, and I was like, so shall I do it? Probably, yeah.
Why
Uh,
not?
yeah, if there was a profession where they could be like, we will pay you for everything that you know about the organized crime from 100 years ago, I would like, make me CEO, bitch. Right, go and sign up. But yeah, it was even this quiz on the back of in a historical magazine, and it was actually about organized crime. Like all the big Italians, they were in there. At least I would be like, those are the big Italians. And a friend of mine was like, you do this test. Let's see if you're right. So I'm doing all the answers, give it back, and he checks in the back. He's like, oh, fuck, you have zero mistakes. I'm like,
Hmm.
I know. I've been reading the one time I'm paying attention. But yeah, and then I don't know how many books you still got, but I will dive into the biggest one as last.
Okay, well, I might as well bring out the big guns for me.
Oh shit!
Okay, so I thought I might as well show the two slabs that I got, the Grady comics I got.
Oh
So you ready for this?
no.
So here's the first one, and yeah.
Gabby! That is so cool. It's probably even in better condition than the one I have. Damn.
Yeah, so
Beauty.
I saw this and I'm like, I
Yeah.
have to get it. I have to. So obviously this is first appearance of Carol Danvers, and it also has Scorpion, J. Jonah Jameson, Mary Jane, and Peter Parker. So
There's also a lot of Vision and a lot of Scarlet Witch on covers as well. I actually have one here framed. I think it's issue number 5. It has the Vision, and there's of course the big one, 18, which is the first appearance of Mystique. But I think I have a few of the Miss Marvel on double. I have to see what I have. Maybe
yeah, I have the reprint of this cover. So this is on display now in my room. I have like 3 different shelves in my room now, which were a pain in the butt to get up, but I have all my Grady comics up there now. So
it would be weird if you would say that, so I put it back in the drawer. Just got it out for the show.
All right, so this is the one that I'm probably just as excited about.
Oh yes.
So this is also a first appearance as well, and it is the first appearance of Malice, Mistress of Hate, who is the dark side of the Queen, Sue Richards. So, which I explained in a previous video what happened with her, but probably talk more about it eventually. But this is Fantastic Four number 280, and it is in the John Byrne run, which is he is amazing. So
wow, that's so cool.
I really love this cover. So it's like a 9.8. I'll take it.
It's a 10.
So
yeah,
I did a unboxing video for both of these, so I'll post that eventually.
I actually almost bought my own first slab comic earlier this month because I'm looking for this one Bad Girl variant from her current or previous run, or her latest run, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Like the half skull and then half bad girl face. It's so beautiful. Ooh. So I saw it only as a slab. It was on 9.8. I was like, well, I don't give a fuck about the grade. But it was 75 euros, so like $85. It's like, for this one fucking variant that's not even that special. Because I probably just like crack it open to put it on a frame. But I was like, but it's still inside of my head because I'm like, I've made so many mistakes the past few months. Like, oh, but the lockdown will be over soon, then I'll be able to get everything. It's not over. Still not over. So I'm like, shall I get it, or is it a bit too much, 75 euros, or I don't know. Shall I wait till a con? And then I will probably never find it. And then suddenly it's like, yeah, well, actually the value is 200 euros. And I'll be like, but I saw it for 75. So it's like, what do I do, right? Because it's not like a special issue. Like if it was a Miss Marvel, yeah, like, yeah. But it's a variant cover, a John Middleton variant cover. Like, is it really that special? Probably not. So is it worth 75 euros? If anyone in the chat or rewind has any knowledge, please let me know. Because I don't know what to do. Because it's the only way I can get it for now. 75. And I'm like, I'm just gonna crack this picture.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So you can talk about The Godfather.
All right. For those of you who don't know, well, you probably know by now because I'm like, Cosa Nostra, organized crowd. I did a stream sometime last year with Hellacious Hero Joe on the movie The Godfather. I did a lot of streams with him, but I think we both went pretty crazy when it was about, like organized crime type of things. Because I think, at least for me personally, I really love the ones that we were talking about, The Godfather and Boardwalk Empire. uh, but this book, I was like, okay, this is a thick one, and I've read
Yeah.
it once years ago. And focus. Um, but now, older, not much wiser. I was I was reading it, and I was like, there's so many things in it. Like I'm really considering making a separate video just to, put the movie on one hand and the book on the other, because there are so many more details in it, of course, that are just so much more. Why are you doing this to me? Right?
I feel like there's always more details in the books anyway.
True. And, like the book much starts with you have Bonacera, who is pretty much in the beginning of the movie where he goes to Don Vito and it's like, they really hurt my daughter and I want you to kill them. And Don Vito is like, you never come to me for help and, you're ashamed of our friendship. And now you come to me to ask me to kill them. This is not what I'm about. This is not who I am. Besides, your daughter is still alive. But here pretty much you actually get to see Bonacera at court, where the two guys that really beat up his daughter, that broke her jaw and everything, that they basically are being let go from their sentence. And he was like, for justice, we have to go to Vito Corleone, the Godfather. I'm like, yes, you should. But maybe it's a bit too late for you now. And you also have, because in the movie you have the wedding scene, you have Johnny Fontaine, who is the singer, who is like, there is this one movie role that I want to get. It's really my type of role. I wouldn't even have to act. And Vito is like, yeah, but then why are you not doing it? He's like, yeah, this guy, this Wolf, the guy's named Wolf something. He's like against me because basically Johnny Fontaine was sleeping with a girl that man was interested in, because that's how people roll in Hollywood. They just sleep with each other. And there is so much about him in this book about Johnny Fontaine that you get pity for him, because he is basically, you only get to see that. Like, he wants a movie role, and then Tom Hagen will go to Hollywood, and then the horse head thing happens, right? That's the only thing that you will see about this story. But the truth is that Johnny Fontaine, which is it's kind of based on Frank Sinatra, because Frank Sinatra had ties with the mob. That's how he got so famous. He was like married first with an Italian woman, got divorced with two kids, or three kids, well, two kids. This is kind of similar to Frank Sinatra. Then he meets like this Hollywood queen and he marries her, and everything is like not good. It's like, like even Diego agrees with me right now. But basically, it's like his new Hollywood marriage is like done with, and he has just become an alcoholic. He cannot really sing anymore because his throat hurts a lot, and the doctors keep telling him like, pretty much your career is done with. Just don't sing anymore. And so he really believes in that. And then you follow his story for a bit. And also at the wedding, he's supposed to sing with Nino Valenti, who is in this book, which is a good old friend of his. And they used to sing together. But then when Johnny Fontaine got big, he forgot about Nino. So that's also kind of like a thing that you see. Like, if you want to make things right, you have to also help the people that were always there for you. So you see their friendship coming back together. It's like they should be making a series just out of this. But also during the wedding, you have Sonny, played by James Caan. He
Mhm.
is like cheating on his wife, right, with one of the bridesmaids that he like
Mhm.
sneaks up and upstairs. There is
Yeah.
an entire storyline in here with this woman. It's like, really? It's
Wow.
uh basically he sees her almost every week. And when Johnny boy, when Sonny, it's almost the same, when Sonny gets brutally shot, which is also another thing, because in the movie you see him like getting shot all over his body, where here it's said like specifically in the face and in the neck. And then afterwards they kick him again in the face to make it more brutal looking.
Huh.
It's in the book. And Tom Hagen, the lawyer, he basically goes to this lady, Lucy, and he's like, "Yeah, we know you had an affair, but we're gonna send you to Las Vegas, to the hotel, because you have the one other brother, Fredo, that's also being sent to Las Vegas to go and hang out with Mo Green, because eventually Michael, the end of part one, he will go to Vegas to buy this
Mhm.
hotel." Am
Yeah.
I boring you yet?
No, no.
But she really gets a few things on her name so that they can kind of like use her. But they're like, but you get a fair amount of money back for it, and it's totally safe, and nothing really bad happens to her. It's actually working out in her benefit. But she gets in a relationship with this doctor who will help Johnny Fontaine and his friend. It's such a lost, missed opportunity. Uh, but then also, one of my favorite chapters in this book, like if you do not really want to read this entire book, just go to book number 5, chapter 20. Or just read that one online. It's when Santino gets shot. Don Vito is slowly recovering from when he got shot,
Mhm.
and he's like, I need a peace conference with the 5 families and all the other families in America, because this has to be settled. And he's like,
Yeah.
uh, the Talia, one of their sons got killed, and he's like, now my son is killed, so it's an eye for an eye. So there is no revenge coming from me.
Yeah.
The dialogue that he has, I'm like, damn, I wish he would have become like a teacher. Because he can tell. You're just like, wow. Like if you have a man like that as your teacher, you will remember it, right? Uh, So he had this entire dialogue, but it's also the dialogue afterwards when he gets home and he sits with Tom Hagen. And Tom Hagen is like, are you really not out for revenge? And then there's this entire thing that he's talking about with Tom Hagen. And it's like, this motherfucker, he is smart. And at one point, even because Fredo is in Vegas, but he was there when his father got shot. He was like,
Mhm.
with Santino no murdered, he's like, Hagen is at Vito, like, do you want me to bring Fredo here for a couple of days so he can be with his family? And the only thing Vito says is that my wife can still stand in the kitchen. Of course, it's the old days, it's the 1940s, so the only right that we had was cooking in the kitchen. My wife can still cook in the kitchen, so there's no need for him to be here. In other words, he basically casted him out as his own son,
Mhm.
because at the peace conference he's being told by one of the guys from California, because it's in Vegas, the hotel. He's being told like, yeah, you would actually not recognize your son anymore, because he has become very much the Hollywood type. He's getting around with a lot of people and very familiar with particular people. And that's when Don Vito was like, I don't trust my own son. Which is later also worked out in the movies, right? That he was one of the snitch people. But just this entire conversation, that he basically is. But even Tom Hagen was like confused for a bit, like, does he not trust me also then? And just the whole thing with Michael Corleone in Sicily, like the whole thing with Apollonia, the wife he was married to. And then in the movies, basically, he gets back and he's going to stop in front of Kay and be like, get in the car, let's get married, right? There was no dialogue, but that was basically like, what was going on between them? But in this book, she goes to New York one day. She's like, oh, let me call the Corleone family to see, like, it's been like 3 years to see what happened to Michael. Maybe he's in New York, maybe he's not. And then the mother picks up and she's like, hey, why did you never call again, sweet girl? She's like, well, how is Michael doing? Is he back yet? She's like, yeah, he's back for 6 months. Or since 6 months. It's like, oh, this is totally different than the movie. And it's not up until that Michael walks in the kitchen that he actually takes Kay for a drive and be like talking. And of course, the one thing that you do when you haven't seen each other for 3 years is like, let's bang a lion and make love. Because that's one of the things that Mario Puzo likes to write about. I think I wrote it also like the Instagram description. Like, he will tell you specifically what the character looks like. You can really envision it, what the characteristics are of this person and what turns them on, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But then it pretty much comes down to the fact that he's like, let's get married. And he's telling her, like, whatever it is that I'm doing, don't ever ask. It's the family business. This is my work, and I do not ever want you to ask me about it.
Just trust me.
Right? But of course, she's an American girl. She's not the typical Sicilian girl. So she doesn't know the omerta, the code of silence. You don't talk about it. Yeah. So she lets it pretty much. Sometimes she wants to know. But it like only, I think, 2 or 3 times in this book that she really asks Michael about something. And she actually sees the mother of Michael go to church every morning. She's like, why are you going to church every morning? She's like, oh, I don't want to, because she's Catholic. She's like, oh, I don't want to miss the morning service. She's like, yeah, but why so devoted every morning? She's like, well, I just go there to pray for my husband's soul. And it's like, okay, makes sense. And then at the end of this book, Kay joins the mother to church every morning to pray for Michael's soul. So the mother will go to pray for Vito, and Kay will go to pray for Michael's soul. But one of the things that I told you before, that I was like, God damn it, if they would only have stuck to that particular storyline. So we all know in the movie that he gets a son and a daughter, and that only like in part 2, Kay gets divorced, and then we have the hideous part 3, where is what's her name, Sophia, or that's her real name, I don't know, but she's a horrible actress, and she basically ruins the entire thing with incest, because it's basically 2 cousins coming together, because it's the son of Sonny, and basically, yeah, which is her cousin, right? Because it's her uncle's kid.
Yeah,
they come together. In the book, Michael has 2 sons. He has no daughter. And I'm like, what if they would have actually run with that story, that he had 2 sons. Okay, you could have turned the one into the softie that you have in the movie, that he's playing the mandolin and he's like, oh, like playing the Godfather theme song. You can do that, but then you could have had the other kid that could have become like the new head of the family,
Yeah.
Something like that. But they went for the pussy road, literally. So I'm just like, why? But yeah, maybe I will do like an in-depth video. I don't even know if people are interested in it, but it's fucking amazing. And just all the small details, the dialogue, and even the whole thing that still is kind of correct. At the end, You have, of course, the husband of Connie, the sister of Michael, that gets beat up constantly by her husband.
Yeah.
That Michael is like, I know you beat up my sister on purpose that one particular night because you knew the road Sonny was driving so that you could shoot him. But there's even more of a dialogue in here. I'm like, damn, like you really see that, because it's the day that Michael is taking out a lot of important people. Also, the snitch from the family, it doesn't happen during the funeral. It's actually a phone call Michael gets. You see that he walks back to Tom Hagen and he's like, so who was it? Yeah, it was Torio. And then they're like, what? I would have thought it would be Clemenza. And it's like, no, it's not Clemenza. Tossio, right? Or what the hell was his name again? I forgot at the moment. I'm very sorry. Reading this, I think they missed out on so many things, and especially the end with the husband of Connie, Carlo, who is just basically, you see him in nerves because he sees like big cars arriving, so he knows something is about to go down, but he doesn't know what, and then he's even calling his mistress on the area where he lives, which is of Michael, so Michael can trace every single phone line, whatever. He's calling his mistress like, yo, I'll probably be there later tonight. I'm just waiting here for Michael Corleone. And then suddenly he gets the knock on the door, right? And he's like, oh, maybe they'll come to pick me up. And he opens the door, and there is Michael Corleone, Tom Hagen, and Clemenza. And I'm like, oh, snap. And he knew. Then, like, okay, I fucked up. They know. Oh, my God. This is amazing. So, anyone that catches the rewind, I don't know if shall I do a video on this?
Yeah, I would watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's at least one view. I don't know. Oh my goodness. I don't think there's really that many that. Well, it's a classic, but a lot of people are like, The Great Gatsby is a classic, but this is also a classic, The Godfather. And it was weird reading a book in Dutch again, because usually I read books in English, and now this one is in English. I'm like, how is it going? My brain is having malfunctions. But yeah, and then of course, I mean, this is a biography of a real life gangster, but this is the Aldo Mario Puzo book, The Sicilian. Just loved the late 70s, early 80s font. This is basically still with all these characters, Vito, Michael, and Michael's being sent again to Sicily to pick up this character, Giuliano, I think. Where is it? Or doesn't say. But anyways, he has to pick up this character. I think his name is Giuliano, which is actually inspired by a true Robin Hood type of figure from Sicily, which is kind of like how the whole organized crime thing started. The Cosa Nostra was like, they were stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. That's how the Cosa Nostra started. But later on, they got a bit ambitious, So they went on to America and prohibition. They were like, oh, let's make money, sell alcohol, and let's make John F. Kennedy president, and stuff like that. Actually, if you are interested, there are two people on YouTube that were former mafia, very important people. One is Michael Francese. He has, for example, Mob Movie Monday, where he talks about mob movies or series and how accurate or how it's not accurate to the real life mob, and about stories that he has been through. It's pretty interesting. And then, of course, one of my favorite guys. Well, I mean, okay, that's very weird to say because he is a murderer. But I mean, to read about, because he has an interesting topic, or he's an interesting person. It's this is his book. It's Underboss. It's Sammy the Bull Gravano, who Is there a picture here of him? Should be. He was he got really known late 80s, early 90s for being the rat. Because, well, we have a John Gotti, or John Gotti, as it should be said. He was like the right hand of John Gotti, and basically, John Gotti tried to frame him when they got arrested by the FBI, but Sammy the Bull was like, fuck no, man. It was his idea. He's going down. So that's how he got known as the rat, because it's not part of the rules, and because the boss always has to go. And but he is also on YouTube. I think you can just find him under Sammy the Bull, and his podcast, like, this is his biography pretty much, the Underboss. And he now has like a podcast. I think it's on episode 7 now. I'm on episode 4. It's like 30-minute podcast episode, and then he really takes you through the whole process, like what he has been through. Like, especially episode 1, he talks about getting arrested by the FBI, being taken in, and then hearing that John Gotti is against him, trying to frame him, and then what happens next, what the rest of the world already knows. But yeah, I think I missed my calling. I think I should stop being Sanimation. I think maybe I should just be like the true crime detective. Do you like characters who are already dead for 100 years? Do you like Joseph Bonanno? He had the Banana War in New York. It was already 100 years ago, but hey, I know some stuff. But yeah, I think I just the shit that I like. Oh snap! Bang. What have you been doing last night? Bang-a-lang, baby. Code of Silence, yes, Omerta. And funny thing is that a lot of these prominent gangsters, they all broke the Code of Silence. Especially like the 5 families. You had Joseph Bonanno. I mean, he wrote a fucking memoir. So that's already breaking the Code of Silence. You had Lucky Luciano, who basically created the entire syndicate and organized crime, what it is known as today. He had people writing a biography or a movie script for him. The only one I think that was kind of true to it was Carlo Gambino, who, I don't know. It's a picture of him in here. The thing is, when you see this guy, you're like, oh, he looks like a sweet grandpa. But if you would tell this guy, like, yo, there's one guy I know, he's from Brooklyn, and he's been treating me like shit, he'll be just like nodding. And then like the next day you would read in the newspaper, guy's murdered on the side street or something like that. But I don't have a picture of him in here, but he looks like a sweetheart, but he was one of those stone cold killers. Sean!
Hi, Sean.
Yeah, you were also watching The Hobbit, right? It's been so long since I watched The Hobbit. I watched it with my mom. She actually liked it. Yeah, but those books are thick, I like thick books, and I cannot lie. Hey, Kirk. Actually, it's here. It says kerk, which is Dutch, which means church. Dutch word of the day. Who the F is Thornin? Oh, that's probably the Hobbit, right? Because I don't remember reading about him in The Godfather. Ooh, dark look at Robin Hood. Yeah. Also, for example, Michael Francese, he mispronounces his own name, by the way. He always says, "Hi, I'm Michael Franchise." I'm like, dude, it's Francese. What the hell? What? He was like, I'm Italian. It's like, well, then learn how to pronounce your damn name. French cheese, like, hey, can I have a pizza French cheese? He actually has a pizza right now. I'm like, okay. I mean, he is now, he's a free man. It's kind of weird because usually it's like, you cannot leave this life unless it's in a coffin. But he is out there. It's just like, he's actually a believer right now. And he preaches in all of his videos, like, hey, just, read a Bible instead of. I'm like, sure, Michael Franchise. But yeah. So, shall I call myself the crime lord from now on? Maybe I could, Robert, I don't know if you're still here, but I know the topic should be like beauty behind the brains. Does that mean that I can like talk about the beauty that is Lucky Luciano? Can I talk about him on your show? All right. Diego agrees. Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm totally on a back on my crime lord bullshit again.
Interesting stuff. Like,
it is really interesting, especially when about these times when, I mean, the prohibition, which was 100 years ago, right? And you had the father of John F. Kennedy that was with these guys, with the mafia, selling alcohol, doing all the dirty stuff. And so it's being said that eventually, years later, he went to those guys again and be like, yo, I have a son. He could be the president. Can you help me out? And the thing was, it's like, sure, but, there's always something that has to be done, like eye for an eye, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like their way of getting into the White House because they already had their foot in politics, the mayors and big lawyers, judges, I should say. But then it was like, we can get into the White House. But then he was elected president. He became the president. And then you had the one other son who started this whole thing with laws against organized crime. And that all these people should just get arrested, like the racketeering. I think the whole RICO thing started then. And then the mafia was like, wait, hold the fuck on, okay? Let me put my pasta away for a second. Like, didn't we help these motherfuckers getting like in the White House? And now we try calling them for a favor and they're like, And if you don't want to listen, if you're messing with one particular Italian with a temper, you know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah. I know that.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's not like, hey, the pasta is not al dente. No. The brains were al dente. Let's just leave it at that. Because a lot of the things that were like, investigated later on, it really led back to like, hey, they are more connected to particular people in the mafia. And then it also got to the point where it was like Marilyn Monroe and all that stuff. So I think Michael Francese talks about it as well in one of his videos about the whole Kennedy thing. And it's interesting. Because his dad was part of the whole, part of the whole, at least, living in that time space and with the family or with one of the few families that were part of the whole thing. So this was Crime Scene 101. Do not mess with italics. Like as they said, I think it was Lucky Luciano who said it best. God forgives, but Sicilians don't.
I've heard that before.
We've been living it every day. All right, so I guess we are. Well, we're already an hour and a half in. I think it was like an hour of me talking about the Il Padrino. I was, even though I was excited about these mangas, I think I was more excited about this right here. As I said, I think I missed my calling. Why am I doing this about comic books? I should be talking about. I like comic books too, but
Yeah.
maybe that will be part of the monthly thing, right? So, Sanimation, what crime book did you read this time? What can you teach us about the American history?
Yeah. Give me your knowledge.
Who knows? Crime 101. Then I need a new nickname, right? I could call myself Donna Angelina. Because Angelina's my middle name. Because everybody has problems saying Summer. I think Angelina, usually I go with like, I just call Angelina. Okay. Angelina. Okay. So, enough of me talking about my my love and obsession with the Cosa Nostra from 100 years ago. Gabby, I know you just released your Queen Venomized unboxing video.
Yeah, I did. I should have brought her in here. I forgot. But yeah, just I did an unboxing video of my Venomized Pop Funko Fantastic Four box that I got. So you can go watch it on my channel. And what else do I have?
The slap unboxing, right?
Yeah, I will be posting that soon. So stay tuned for that. And then Monday, I'm going to be doing another art stream on my Twitch.
Ooh.
Oh,
I hope I can make it for once.
well, Monday I have off, so I might start it like earlier in the day. So that might work for you.
Yeah, well, I'm always sleeping. But Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, there's like a 6 o'clock shift because we have the voting thing going on, and it actually happens at the theater that I'm working at. I'm like, okay, we have like one part. We have the Corona section, and now we also have the voting section. Okay. But I believe in compensation to that, I'll have next weekend off. Thank God. But
Same here.
Ooh, well, on top of that, next Saturday, where will we be?
Talking about these guys. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yes. Oh,
Super excited for that.
hey, Kirk.
Oh,
Kirk. Also, I know I've been saying this for a long time, but I've been slacking really badly. I've been slacking with like getting Cinemasian on the roll, the whole Al Pacino movies that we talked about on the roll. But for sure, I want to invite you as a guest on either the comic section of Comic Gamer Girls, or I'm not sure if you're into video gaming, but we also have a video gaming section of Comic Gamer Girls. Like, what's in the name? And because Simone also joins us quite often, and she also likes manga. We had kind of like an idea to do like a manga anime stream. The one time that Gabby will be like, "Can I go home?" But yes. So sooner or later, we'll probably just have to pick a date then that you can join, because we have like 11 questions now. We have one more question. We'll send them to you, and then you can think about it, and we can set something up. But I've been slacking a lot, like all these shows, these ideas, but I'm
Yeah.
really enjoying Comic Gamer Girls and
This is so fun.
yeah, so maybe we'll just have to baptize Comic Gamer Girls like into everything that I just do right now, like Cinemasian, like Comic Gamer Girls Cinemasian edition. Gabby will be like, I ain't no watching no Japanese movies now. Oh,
Ooh.
it sounds fun, but if it is fun, that's another question. So yeah, I think maybe sooner or later I might just do a video on The Godfather. Why not, right?
Yeah.
And the movie, the difference between the book and the movie. I
Mhm.
also still have to dive into um, Witchblade number 2, or at least straight number 2 of the whole new run with Alex Underwood. Because I want to do like a whole thing. Because the series stopped. Because I have the third trade here as well that I bought a few months ago. I'm like, oh, now I can finally read it all, and it's still here laying. Because look, I love the '90s Witchblade, of course, the Italian Queen Sara Pezzini, right? But it's full on action from the start. Whereas this is like it's a detective story, which is nice, but then don't call it Witchblade because it's an artifact. It takes you like gives you superpowers and all that stuff.
Mhm.
The hell is going on? So I don't know. Like it probably will take longer than expected. But yeah, who knows? Maybe The Godfather. And then I will appear next week on Gabby's channel for Falcon Winter Soldier. And if I make it on time, maybe on Robert's channel in the morning. Maybe. I'm not sure. Because what if I'm still asleep? Because when I have my time off, or my day off, and I'm like, I'm going to watch Robert's show because I've been awake so many days a week so early. I can wake up at 7, just like drool half in bed and watch a show.
No.
Like when I'm at work, I'd be like, yeah, in the chat. When I'm at home, I wake up, I'm like, it's already daylight. What time is it? Oh! Talk about structure. There is none. All right. So that's it, I guess. Next week, your channel.
Yeah.
Same time
3
as
o'clock
always.
p.m. Eastern.
Ooh, yes. And who knows? Maybe I'll be like in suit and tie going 1930s style. Or maybe I should do like the whole 1930s makeup style and be like, I'm so gangster now, yo. All right. Let's see. I have to go here. Yeah. So first to promote Gabby's channel. Oh no, wait. Again, tonight at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out Il Padrino. So much easier when you have the videos here. And of course, we have Gabby's channel. And all the links are in the description box below. And for sure, we will be back next Saturday. Episode number 1 of the it allegedly it's called Falcon and Winter Soldier, but to us it's just the Bucky show.
I can't wait to see their banter back and forth.
Yeah, that too, and the dialogue eventually.
The
I'm
more
like, okay, I watched it for the 4th time. Now I understand. Yeah, Never grow up, people. That would be cool. And also, if you want to join with one of the episodes to talk about it, I mean, we just basically show up every week, like we did with WandaVision, to talk about the episode. Just let us know. And thank you. You too, Kirk. It's fucking great seeing you here again. Yes! And yeah, so we have an ending. So see you guys next week on Gabby's channel. All the links are in the description box below. And I swear this is just water, really. Very unimportant, but I don't give a fuck. So, hey, see you guys next time. And thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to read your comics, read your books, play your video games, but most of all, eat your pizza. Ciao!